Hello, duelists, Tombox
and Nishi
here from MST.TV, and we are bringing you the BOSH set analysis.
Yeah, this is our first video from 2016.
So
and
happy 2016!
Yeah, happy 2016! We're really excited to go through another year making videos for you guys, and we really hope you guys will stick with us.
Yeah, and let's hope that Konami, does something special for both the casual players and the competitive players, so we can all get along in this community.
Yeah, we definitely need a bit more of that. Well, let's go straight into the BOSH set analysis.
So we're gonna separate this into a couple sections. First off, we're gonna go over some of the big cards, the big 6 secrets.
Yeah. So just a quick thing before we go into this set here, we do have the new rarity ratio changes. So just a reminder, in each pack that you open, there's a guaranteed holo, and that holo can be either a super, an ultra rare, or a secret rare. No more ultimate rares or ghost rares in the main set, and in each box you open, you're going to be looking to open about 2 secret rares, 4 ultra rares, and then the rest super rares.
Is it 4 ultra or 6?
4 ultras.
4 ultras.
Yeah, so definitely
still a lot.
That's still quite a bit.
So that's a doubling the ratio from what we got before. So that actually could affect some of the prices that we will be mentioning.
But definitely making some of these higher rarity cards a little bit more accessible for casual players that maybe don't want to drop as much money on the set.
All right, without further ado, let's go into the big 6 secrets. So first off, we have the Cyber Dragon Infinity. I think,
it's definitely one of the most anticipated cards from the set.
Definitely one of the best cards, as long as you have the ability to access a rank 4 toolbox in your deck. So you basically can make it through Ptolemaeus.
Right.
So you'd go into Cyber Dragon Nova, and then you slap that on top.
Yeah.
And of course, the effect. It's basically a better version of 101. Has the ability to absorb attack position monsters. Does not need to be special summoned. You can even absorb your own if you're really scared of Lava Golem.
I mean, if you really want materials.
Yeah, if you really want materials. But it also has the effect to negate spell traps or monster effects just by detaching 1.
No, it's definitely a really, really scary card to have on board. I mean, like in the OCG, having Darklaw, Master of Darklaw with Cyber Dragon Infinity on board was
that seals
almost
games.
Unbreakable board, right? So definitely look for this card to really make a huge impact in the TCG.
But don't be careful with the card. You don't really want to open it, because if you open with the card, the negation is once per turn, so it's actually a lot easier to break as long as you have more cards in your hand. Yeah. But in the late game, if you make it in the late game, it becomes a low resource game, and that seals the game really easily.
If you guys only have a few cards, you guys are both low on resources, if you can make an Infinity and keep it on board, like you're pretty much set.
So this card's sneak peek anticipation, some of the people posted online, it's about $80 to about $100 right now.
Somewhere in there. I think that's a little bit high. I mean, most decks are going to be playing this card, but even the ones that do, like all of them that do, they're only going to be playing 1, unless you're playing like a dedicated Cyber Dragon deck, which I don't think we
You'll
really
play 3.
Yeah, well, you'd play 3, but we haven't really seen much of that. So I'm thinking that honestly, because of the ratio changes a little bit. Yeah, Honest still isn't at 3, guys. It's 2016. What's up with that?
Wait till 2017.
But I mean, Cyber Dragon Infinity, probably looking at sitting around $50 to $60. Substantial drop from the 80 to 100 at Sneak, but it's too good of a card to go down to like $30-$40.
Yeah, right? Definitely not gonna go below that price point. The other card that we're gonna go into is Pepe's, probably Performapal's best card to come.
Yeah.
What was it? Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer.
Pendulum Sorcerer.
Pendulum Sorcerer, not Wizard.
Yeah. No. Well, it's a secret rare, and it's kind of funny because all of the other Performapal cards were all low rarity, which everyone was really happy about. But they give us this card as an OCG import, and it's broken, of course. But it's a secret rare, unfortunately. So.
Hey, it's better than making it a prize card. They're not gonna make it that card that you need 3 of a prize card.
Rest in peace, Minerva.
But yes, this card is a 3 of, so you can expect that it's gonna be a little more expensive because it has like a lot more demand for the card for sure.
Yeah.
And it is part of the Performapal Pendulum Circle, which would consist of Skulkerbat, Monkey Board, and Pendulum Sorcerer. So these 3 kind of circle themselves constantly, and as long as you get one, you more or less get all the other ones too.
Yeah, you have access to everything else.
And it creates it basically makes the deck almost impossible to brick. Yeah. It's very hard to brick with that deck.
It adds a lot of consistency. You just pop the 2 scales and you search for 2 other Perform mages from your deck. So
yeah,
I mean, definitely a lot of really good consistency there.
And the ability to pop synergizes with Plush Fire. If you're actually running Ariadne, you can it pops that too.
You can play Ariadne.
You can play it, but it's not recommended for the deck.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, this card really good. Sneak peek, we're expecting this to be like $100.
I'm definitely expecting it to be $100, but I'm actually expecting it to stay at or very close to $100. Yeah. Definitely between 90 and 100.
It's like you can compare this card with Kozmo Dark Destroyer, of how it kind of settled really high, even though it was like 1 month later.
Yeah, Dark Destroyer stayed at like between 100 and 120 for a solid month after the release. Yeah. And I mean, that was without Kozmo really being tier 1.
And they weren't like topping a lot of events either. Yeah. Like it was between, the Peppy decks and Peppy's with the Ignister kind of just swept them out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kozmo was always a good deck.
Yeah. Like really strong
it's a strong deck, but it wasn't like the single best deck of the format.
No.
But I think with Pendulum Sorcerer, Pepe could very well be like an almost tier 0 deck. It's like
it's close.
Yeah,
It can be very close.
I don't really see too many decks competing with it.
Yeah, it's a very strong deck, probably because of its consistency level.
Right.
So yeah, this card's probably very high. Now moving on, the next card that we want to talk about, let's go into a trap here. Kozmojo.
Kozmojo, yeah. So Kozmojo, it's a secret rare normal trap card. It's probably the best card that Kozmo are getting from the new set.
Probably, but I don't think Dark Eclipser, we'll get into him shortly, but like Kozmojo has the ability to, of course, pop one of your own Kozmo cards and then a non-targeting banishing effect from graveyard or
field.
So the non-targeting effect is really nice, especially because like you can answer to someone's chain to your play.
Right. The fact that it doesn't target, right? Like they can't get rid of their things to try and dodge it, and it has its uses in pretty much every single matchup. Like if you're I can't think of a deck where it's bad against.
Yeah, like if someone plays Pendulum Call, you can easily just I can still get rid of that.
Yeah, like there's nothing
bad about it.
No, it's a good card. It helps get rid of like any card that the deck might have a problem with. Right?
And the only thing that I would say is not so good about Kozmojo is, first of all, it's archetype specific, and so only Kozmo can play it, so Kozmo will obviously love this card.
Yeah.
But then it's also a bit slower because it is a trap.
So
if you open with too many copies of this, you're like, I don't know if I have enough resources to actually bring it out to its fullest capacity.
Can you imagine if it was a quick play spell?
It would be very broken. Unfortunately, this card, we don't see it as high in terms of the price point because it is
not overly.
Yeah, not overly. Like a lot of it has to do with like the rarity changes, of course.
Right. And there's so many other chase secrets that this one kind of like
it's being shadowed by the other ones, right?
Yeah.
And so this one, seeing it could be run at 2 or 3 at set drop, or not set drop, but like sneak peek, about 35.
Yeah, between 35 and 40.
But then it'll probably drop to around like 25.
I'm gonna say 20-ish.
20?
Yeah,
20-ish?
Yeah. I think it's a good card. Definitely makes the deck a lot better, but I don't see it being like a really high dollar card, especially with like Pendulum Sorcerer and Cyber Dragon Infinity.
Okay, let's go into the next big trap. I really wish it was just an ultra. It's not an ultra.
No.
Solemn Strike.
Solemn Notice, Solemn Strike, whatever. Okay. I like Notice better.
It's kind of like Norden.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Solemn Strike is a secret rare. Of course, you guys know it as the pay 1500 Magispector generic Magispector Tempest.
Right.
So it negates effects, and it also negates special summons.
Yeah.
The ones that do not chainless special summons. Let's call it that.
Inherent special summons.
People hate it when we say that. Oh. So I'm just calling it chainless special summons.
All right.
Just so that we're all on the same page.
Okay.
So this card, definitely like a staple level card. Like most Solemn cards, it is staple except for Solemn.
Scolding.
Scolding was iffy, maybe.
Scolding didn't see that much.
Yeah,
or Authority.
Authority was archetype. But this card right now is actually pretty hyped, really high. It's about 100
Yeah, it's between $90 and $100
But
online.
I'm guessing where this one would go after Sneak is like most solemn cards. Probably you run 2 of, not some people want to run 3, but a lot of top tier decks that I've seen, and based off of our own tournament previously, they only ran 2 copies and they didn't side an extra one, so it was about 2. But like most solemn cards, they usually settle down around 60. And if it actually doesn't see as much play, I can even see it going even lower.
Yeah, maybe if it doesn't see that much play, as low as 40, more likely 50.
Yeah.
But I mean, if like all the top tier decks are playing it, then don't be surprised if it stays around like $80, because
it is a very powerful card, especially in the current meta.
Yeah, especially with all the like pendulum summoning going on. And I mean, like just looking at Yu-Gi-Oh in general, you'd expect more and more archetypes as they get released to be revolved around pendulum summoning.
And like a lot of effects nowadays that are coming out, just look at Kozmo, for instance. It's non-targeting, like a lot of non-targeting effects, so that you actually have to deal with it preemptively rather than like chain to it as a response. Yeah. So that's why like this Solemn Strike could be like the next best thing. Probably will get a reprint. Like all the other Solemn cards.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but
not for a year.
Not soon.
Not for a year.
Well, I mean, hopefully soon.
Hopefully, but probably not.
We'll see.
Okay, so let's go into Dark Eclipser. Kozmo Dark Eclipser.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, this card is very underwhelming. I don't even think it deserves a secret spot.
No, definitely not. It's not.
It's one of those secrets that you don't want. So if you pull one, at least you have another chance.
Well, I mean, it's a thank you, Konami. That's true, but it's a little bit hyped up because I mean, like, it's a Kozmo card, and people aren't really sure of how Kozmo is going to work out in the future because we don't have like an OCG precedent to go on.
Yeah.
So it's possible. I mean, like, stranger things have happened.
But the effect.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's talk about the effect of Kozmo's Dark Eclipser. So it negates traps by banishing your graveyard Kozmos. But the only time that you would most likely have graveyard Kozmos are your pilots dying without getting their effects off. And if you actually have a ship in the graveyard, I find that actually a little strange because the ships, well, they'll banish them, so they'll not be there. In other words, you're losing.
Yeah, you're probably losing if you can banish them for Dark Eclipser's effect. And I mean, if we look at the state of Yu-Gi-Oh right now, what traps are you really going to be negating?
Solemn Strike, that's not going to happen.
No, because it's a counter trap. No. And I mean, Solemn Warning's a counter trap. Aside from those two, like, what other traps have really seen play this format? I mean, when Rafflesia comes out...
you can't even negate its monster effect.
You can't negate its monster effect, but I mean, if they play, like, Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare, Treacherous Trap Hole, I mean, and your opponent happens to draw into that, then you can negate it. But I mean, like... Treacherous.
No, you can't even use Treacherous.
You can't Treacherous because your guys can't be targeted, so, like, it's not going to do anything. And I mean...
It's not good.
No, it's just an underwhelming card. And the other thing is...
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, when Dark Eclipser dies... whereas the other ships, they'll summon out the Kozmo from your deck. Dark Eclipser only adds it to your hand, right? So it's slower. It's not that.
Add Farm Girl.
Yeah, okay, but like, not that great of a card, to be honest. I don't.
Yeah, it's quite underwhelming for like new Kozmo. It is level 9. It does add a level 8 or lower. But honestly, not really worth your time. No. You might run one to test it out. Maybe it'll be good. Who knows?
It could be.
It's hyped to about $50 right now for a sneak peek. I would not pay that much.
Hell no. I'd pay like 20, maybe 20, like 10 or 15.
That's what we're seeing it settled.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate if you pull one, but
I mean, it's a secret.
If you do pull it, it's a nice ship. Looks. If you're a fan of Star Wars, okay.
Okay, yeah. I'm not. So.
Why are you here?
I haven't seen Star Wars.
God,
ever. Well, anyways,
okay, let's talk about the other monster we just mentioned, Trap Tricks Rafflesia.
All right, so Rafflesia, it's a rank 4 monster.
Generic.
Yeah, and you can detach a material from it to send a normal trap card from your deck to the graveyard to use its effect when the appropriate condition is met.
Yes, but there's one that's pretty generic that can be activated at any time. Right. Treacherous Trap Hole. And don't forget, you cannot activate the Treacherous Trap Hole effect if you already have a trap in the graveyard. Right.
So that includes Rafflesia. Rafflesia doesn't negate the condition that Treacherous Trap Hole has. But I mean, all that that's the only condition. So if your opponent ever has 2 monsters and you have no traps in grave, you can detach the material, pop 2 of your opponent's monsters. Fairly free. Yeah. I mean, it's good, but I mean, at the same time, it's forcing you to run like Treacherous Trap Hole Nightmare. Or Treacherous Trap Hole.
The common Trap Hole lineup that people do run with this card are Time Space Trap Hole because it hits
Time Space.
Hits all the pendulum summons. You have, of course, Treacherous Trap Hole because it's like a combo breaker.
Right.
Combo breaker. But there's also the... There's also other trap hole options like Bottomless. Bottomless is a pretty decent
Bottomless is okay.
But like not as played. But some people prefer to use Trap Trick's Trap Hole Nightmare.
I mean that card's good still.
That card's still good. I actually, my Ignister got killed by that today. It was pretty sad.
That's unfortunate.
Someone main deck 3 and
that's
I can't do anything about it.
That's unfortunate.
I actually summoned 2. One by normal summoning a Mass Chameleon.
Oh.
And then the second was Pendulum the guys back out from the extra deck and try to build it again. And then I got hit by 2.
Yeah, well you just suck.
Well, I can't read the back row.
Clearly.
I couldn't look.
Can't read back row.
It happens. Well, this card, right now it's hyped to, like, probably sneak peek, you'll see this card around 35, 40.
35, yeah.
It's mainly because it causes inconsistencies in the deck if you do run all those trap holes.
Yeah.
They're not bad, but it's just like it's slower. You don't get your combo pieces.
Yeah, they're cards that if you draw the trap holes, you either can't dump the trap from your deck, so your Rafflesia is basically dead, and that's one extra X spot that you lose.
Basically, if you draw the other trap holes other than Treacherous,
then your Treacherous
is dead.
And I mean, if you're drawing trap holes, you're not drawing combo pieces.
So
it's
40.
As simple as that.
So 40 on the sneak peek.
Yeah.
But then probably settling down around 25.
Yeah, I'd say between 20 and 25. I mean,
but it's still a really good card if you pull it. It's a very beautiful card too.
Yeah, the art's pretty nice. It's still gonna be a good card, but who knows if it's gonna see play or not.
Well, all right. So now we're gonna get into the big boosts. These are the archetypes that gain a major boost in this set. Starting with the biggest one. Well, it'll be Pendulum, Performapal, Performage, Draco Slayer, whatever you want to call it, Peppy, Eminem, whatever you want to call it. It's Boxing Day for you guys. Again, guess what?
Thankfully.
Yeah, I know. Monkey board, common. So, you don't have to break your wallet. It's on sale. All this stuff is on sale.
I know, it's great.
Draco Face-Off, also known as Clash of the Draco Rival.
Yeah.
Common. Guitar Turtle. Rare. And, of course, the boss monster, which I kind of expected to be an ultra rare, Dinoster, rare.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the rest of the stuff, aside from the Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer being like a secret. Aside from him, everything is really cheap to pick up. If someone sells it to you for $1 or something, I'd still buy it. It's really... If you don't want to buy packs and you just want I want a set of this stuff because I already got the sorcerer, so I'm ordering online.
It's whatever.
Then paying $1 easily. These cards are really good. See, the monkey board is basically part of the Performapal Pendulum Circle, as I would like to call it. One of the best pieces. He's the one that put on scale, gives you a free search. He's a scale 1 on number, but he goes to 4 if there's not another Performapal on the other side of the scale. So just remember that. He's obviously very good. Searching out Skullcrobat automatically completes your scale. So 1 card complete scale for this common.
Yeah.
Clash of the Draco Rival or Draco Face Off. Honestly, this card should have been like much higher rarity. It's an E-Telly that can put stuff on scale. I thought it was
at least ultra.
I thought it was at least like super. Like all the other Draco Slayer cards, you would expect super, right?
Yeah.
But this guy is like common. He E-Telly. He's a quick play, so he acts as E-Telly without any of the drawbacks.
Yeah.
He can put a monster on summon or on scale. But then, of course, your opponent chooses. But regardless of what he chooses, you're getting a free Draco. You're getting a free Luster Pendulum.
Yeah, no, it's free. Like, why not play it?
It's really good Twin Twister bait.
Yeah.
Especially in the mirror match, you set these and you expect that your opponent's playing Twin Twisters, so you're like, I'll set these and they'll pop in. Like, I'll just minus off. They get a minus. Really good card. Can't believe it's common. And of course, Performapal Guitar Turtle. Good turtle.
Something like that.
This card is also very good. It's a scale 6, so in other words, you can get all your 2 to 5 basically with Monkey Board, and Monkey Board doesn't restrict you for just Performables. So that being said, this card with Lizard Draw is a pot of greed. Literally, put Okay, if you have Monkey Board and you have a Skullcrobat Joker, summon the Skullcrobat Joker. Search the Turtle. Put the Turtle on the scale, and then drop the monkey board. Turtle will activate, giving you 1 card draw. And then use the monkey board effect. Now you have added another card. What is your opponent going to do? Is he going to break your scale with a Ghost Ogre? It's not going to break.
Yeah.
And if you have Lizard Draw, it'd be like, of course, the Turtle will draw 1, and then the Lizard Draw will pop itself and draw another card. So in other words, you just drew 2 cards for free. It's basically a pot of greed. Dinoster is giving Ignister more plays because the monster summoned out from Ignister cannot be used as another Ignister play, but usually it gets overlaid, so it gets sent into the graveyard after it's done being used. But now you can actually use that to contact fuse into Dinoster, and it protects your scale. So in the mirror match, you can protect yourself from Wavering Eyes and all the other stuff. Not that Sorcerer won't pop your scales and leave no scales for them to play with anyway.
Yeah.
But all these cards are really, really cheap, so congratulations, you don't have to spend too much after the...
My only complaint about the deck is that it's not hollowed out.
I know, it's one of the best deck, and it's not hollowed.
But, I mean...
Oh, well, what can you say?
Cheap Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's good. Cheap Yu-Gi-Oh! Is good Yu-Gi-Oh!
Cheap,
just like
Plush Zero Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah.
Plush Fire.
Yeah, just like last set. Plush Fire, Mirror Conductor.
Yeah, all cheap.
Beautiful.
So
what a time to play Yu-Gi-Oh, guys.
Yeah, except the other part of the deck is super expensive. Kozmos.
Alright, yeah.
Well, Kozmos, aside from the Dark Eclipse and the Mojo, you get Delta Shuttle. Yeah, 3 other cards.
The Delta Shuttle.
Delta Shuttle, which is another level 5 ship. Level 5. I think it's level 5. 5 or 6. 5 or 6.
I don't remember.
It's a dark ship, and it has the ability to send one of your Kozmo monsters into the graveyard to lower the attack of one of your opponent's monsters. So it synergizes with the new playstyle of Kozmos that they're introducing in this set.
Yeah.
Honestly, I guess there's your way to activate a Dark Eclipser.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very good, though.
No,
but there are combos with Sword Trooper. Sword Trooper is a super rare.
Yeah.
Because it's a super rare, and it's not a card that a lot of people are actually going after, so I don't really need to mention the price. But if you really want to know, it's going to be between like $2 to $4.
Yeah, so it's not expensive.
It's not going to be expensive. Like anything that we don't really mention prices of, you can expect that it's not going to be too expensive. Now, this card special summons out a Psychic Kozmo monster out of your graveyard. So they will play it so that you can kind of do, which is a little tacky and really like not overly strong, which would be using Delta Shuttle to send one into the graveyard, E-Telly out Sword Trooper to revive the Farm Girl. That's one play you can do, and then maybe tag out. You have 2 tag outs now.
Yeah, it's not a bad card. It's kind of bad early game.
Of course, there's one more card that's a light Kozmo monster, the R2D2 to the C3PO. Tin Can.
Yeah, Tin Can's a pretty good card. It's an ultra rare. It has the same effect as like Farm Girl. You can banish it from the field, special summon a level 2 or higher Kozmo monster from your hand. Yeah. And its other effect is once per turn you can pay 500 life points. Reveal 3 Kozmo monsters from your deck. Your opponent chooses one. You get to add that card to your hand, and the other 2 go to your graveyard.
I guess it kind of synergizes.
It's like all the stuff from the new set kind of works well together.
Yeah, the graveyard.
But I mean, this half of the set doesn't really work with like the older cards, right? So
it's different. It's very different. Maybe you can run BLS.
I mean, if you have the opportunity to sack BLS, then I'd play it. Why not? I play BLS in Necrons,
but
guys.
Remember that this card's effect activates during the end phase.
Yeah.
So it's a much slower card, but it does give you like a better turn 1 opening. Because what are you gonna do with turn 1 openings aside from Artifact Kozmos, which is setting Artifact Scythe and like setting up your Sanctums and stuff.
But no, like the first turn has always been kind of a problem for Kozmo because they can't do anything really going first, right? So it gives Kozmo a turn 1 or turn 2 play where like they haven't really got their engine going. But I mean, outside of that, like if you draw it late game, it's kind of a bad card. You're gonna want to shuffle it back with Kozmo Town, right? But
yeah. Aside from that, it is an ultra rare, so we're anticipating about set drop is gonna be like a $25-ish card.
Yeah, between 20 and 25.
But this one's definitely gonna hit a lower price point after the set settles down.
For sure.
It's probably gonna be about $10, $10.
Yeah, between 5 and 10.
Because you're not running more than one.
No, maybe 2. I mean,
if you really want to see it.
If you really want to see Tin Can opening, maybe.
He's pretty swag.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the art on it. But I mean, look at Strawman, right? So Strawman was like 50 at set drop. 50 at set drop, jumped up to like $70 or $80, and then now it's only like
$20 card.
No,
$12 card.
No, it's like 8.
Is it 8?
It's like between $5 and $8 ultra rare. Yeah, no. I pulled one and I sold it for like $5. It's that cheap of a card right now, right? It's just.
But this Strawman's a much better card compared to Tin Can because it gives you mid game to late game grind power.
That's true.
Basically, you get to recur your resources and you get double the amount back.
Yeah. But I guess we'll see how it goes, right? We'll see what Kozmo players top with and what the established ratio.
Cosmojo is what I'm putting my money on.
Cosmojo's the good card.
Yeah. So next up we have one of the archetypes from like way back from Abyss Rising that's getting a major boost just with one card. One card.
Hated this deck.
Neptibus.
Yeah, all the old Mermail players are excited because this card's coming back.
Yeah, this card, literally, it's a level 1 that basically sends an Atlantean monster to search another Atlantean monster, and the other effect is if it's sent to the graveyard by a water monster's cost to activate one of their effects, it revives one of the Atlantean monsters in the graveyard.
Probably a Dragoon.
So, Dragoon, or sometimes even some people are actually running the boss monster of
Poseidra?
Because it lowers the attack and creates really random OTKs, and it's also level 7, so it can actually go into Draco Sacrifice.
That's so cheesy.
It's been done. This card is very powerful. It outshines Jinx Undine in every way. I mean, I don't know what to say.
But you can summon it or you can pitch it, right? A lot of the other ones, it's either you summon or you pitch. This one's either one, so I mean,
this is really
lots
good.
Of versatility.
It gives you double Dragoons play.
Yeah.
That's crazy because every Dragoon play is like a plus.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
It's really good. So this card, ultra rare, right now the price is hyped to about $40. Probably if it does really well, I can see it settling around like 25, 30.
Yeah.
It's a really good card. Like definitely I would run 3, but you say you should run 1.
No, I'm kidding. I was kidding.
Oh, he was kidding? Okay, oh my god.
No, obviously
run 3.
1 for 1 this play 3. Don't play 1.
1 for 1 this
I actually told a guy at our locals that you only play 1 and he believed me.
Kenny, what are you doing?
I know.
Okay, well, this card is very good. Now, moving on to the 4th archetype. That's
Kaiju.
Big boost. Yeah, Kaiju. I didn't think we'd be talking about this.
I know, it's weird. But Kaiju are actually getting 2 new monsters and a spell. The spell is really, really good. I'll talk about the 2 monsters really quickly. So we have the moth named Gandarla, and this lets you remove 3 Kaiju counters during either player's turn to cut the attack of all monsters on the field in half.
Is it permanent?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, look it up.
Not a bad effect.
Smothra.
Yeah.
Smothra.
The art's kind of cool. And the other one's Jizu Kiru. And this
Godzilla.
So if your opponent's card effect targets exactly 1 card on the field, you remove 3 Kaiju counters, negate the effect, and then you can destroy a card on the field.
So basically, it copies the effect of Masters of Blade.
Sure.
Was that his name? He was a rank 7.
Yeah.
He was a rank 7 guy.
Yeah, number 74?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Masters of Blade.
Yeah.
You would not target stuff once there's 3.
Yeah.
So it's really bad.
Yeah.
And it actually works against Ignister. Ignister has to target 1 card first.
Yeah.
So he gets to negate it, pop another card.
Yeah.
Don't blindly play into this.
Yeah, please.
Read your cards.
Read them. I know the text box is really long.
Yeah, it's very long.
I'm really bad with that.
Yeah, make sure you read your cards. If you see Mecha Godzilla, don't target stuff.
Yeah.
It could ruin your game, even with like powerful cards.
Alright, no, but the real card that makes Kaiju's great is their new spell card. It's a super rare. It's called Kaiju Slumber. So what it is kind of like a Dark Hole, a Last Turn, and a Rhoda all mixed into one.
It's stupid.
Yeah, so you
triple Dark Hole in one deck?
Yeah, no, you activate it, destroy all the monsters on the field, then you select 2 Kaiju monsters from your deck, special summon them both to the field, 1 on each player's side, and this turn they must attack if they're able to. And once per turn, except for the turn that it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish the spell card, and then you Rhoda for a Kaiju monster, any Kaiju monster from your deck. So, I mean, the card's really, really good.
I would run 3 of that.
I'd probably run 3.
I might even run Reasoning and just throw it into the graveyard. Because Kaiju monster levels are...
Yeah, all the Kaiju monster levels are kind of random.
Is it random or are they the same?
They're all pretty high.
Yeah, they're pretty high.
Yeah, but like, it's not like they're all the same level.
But you can run Great Old Kaiju and still run this card too.
Yeah, well, Godarla's 8, and the Godzilla guy's like a 10.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it's like
that does change up the levels.
Yeah. No. So lots of.
And their attacks are like the Mecha Godzilla. He has like 3,300 attack points.
Yeah.
That's like.
No, he's huge.
He's freaking huge. But don't forget, like the thing clears the board first before going into.
Yeah.
So it does. It just basically empties your opponent's field. It's not very fair.
Or you could go like activate spell card, destroy everything, get the 2 guys on board, then flip remove brainwashing and take the other guy, and you get 2 swings.
You can't control 2 Kaijus.
Right. I knew that.
But the other thing about this card is when you blow up everything on the field, it's very easy to accumulate those Kaiju counters.
Yeah.
Especially if you have the field spell available, then you'll most likely have 3 counters.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
So aside from the major boost archetype, let's go into just some of the stuff that this set newly introduces.
Right. So smaller archetypes.
Archetypes. So starting off, we have Dinomist. The reason why we have Dinoster. The only these are the archetypes that Draco Slayers kind of tag into, basically. Yeah. So we had Magic Specters, we had Ignites, and now we have Dinomist. Dinomist, they are machines. They're not dinosaurs, unfortunately. Yeah, that's kind of sad. No, you don't get to see Lagi Adolko. Actually, you might still get to see it later on, but
you get limiter removal, guys.
Limiter removal. But okay, so they are level 4 and 5 dinosaurs. So their scale numbers are 3 and 6.
Yeah.
The scale 3s. I believe the scale 3s prevent the monster from being destroyed by battle or card effect.
Yeah.
Not monster, actually cards. Dinomist cards. So they'll pop themselves. And the other, the scale 6s, whenever you target a Dinomist card, you can activate the scale to pop itself and negate the thing that targets the Dinomist card.
Yeah.
So basically, they protect each other through that scale protection. In other words, you can't actually Wavering Eyes them very well. It's very difficult to Wavering Eyes them.
Yeah.
So they got built-in Wavering Eyes protection, and aside from that, there's only 2 monsters that are really notable to me. One's Pateran, which is the 1800 level 4. When it attacks, it basically when it destroys a monster by battle, it adds a Dinomist card from the deck to the hand, so it's like a search on destruction. And the other one is Rex. Rex is actually kind of scary because it has a non-targeting effect built in after it attacks. It has it can attack again, or it can shuffle a card back into the deck by attributing another Dinomist card. But because they're all pendulums, so basically you can just pen them all back out.
That's pretty free.
Yeah, but of course they are the ones that give us Dinoster. They like the new Draco Slayer thing.
Yeah.
So that's them. Luckily, they don't have a lot of high rarity. Rex is a super. Oh, but the field spell is actually something that's worth mentioning. All these archetypes they have their own field spell. Like Ignites have Ignition Phoenix, Magic Spectre has Majesty's Pegasus, and for them they have Dynamic Overload. Now, Dynamic Overload pretty much turns all the Dinomist monsters into Armades. When you attack, there's no response that can be had until the end of the damage step. That makes them very scary and gives them 300 attack. Like a 21 Cyber Dragon swinging into you, get no effect, so kills off, Trick Clowns, Plush Fires, all those guys. Yeah. They're all just dead for free.
Oh, that's pretty scary.
Well, that field spell, like all the other field spell, you'd have to terraforming them out as a search because they don't share the name of Dinomist. Now, the other archetype is Shinranoi. Like, zombies are making a return, guys. They're coming back.
Yeah, what year are we playing in?
I don't know, right? But specifically zero defense zombies. They have... This is actually a very interesting archetype. I was playing against it, and basically... they revolve around manipulating the graveyard constantly. They have effects when they get banished, and they are synchro based. So they have 2 monsters that are introduced that are synchros. I can't quite remember the name off the top of my head because it's a very Japanese name. Ikusagami, and they also have another one. I don't remember the other one. I actually don't remember. But it's a level 6 and level 8. What makes them kind of interesting is they actually bring back like Zombie Master. Zombie Master is 0. They have a field spell that revives 0 defense zombie monsters. So even the ones that you synchro out, like Revive King Hades, Hades, whichever you want me to call it, you can just basically revive him through the field spell.
That card causes headaches.
It does cause headaches because the effect of if just bring back some of the old rulings. If the Revive King Hades kills a monster, or like the zombie monster kills one of your monster while he's face up, it negates the effect when it's in the graveyard or wherever it is.
You can't banish Damage Juggler.
You can't banish Damage Juggler.
Which is kind of weird.
Which is really weird because things reset in the grave, but not for him. He just shuts it down. But if it's moved around, then it resets it.
Weird ruling.
It's really weird.
This is before my time, guys.
But of course, this deck runs Zombie because it is a tuner that can manipulate levels, throw Mizukis into the graveyard, and when things get banished, they also get effects. The priest can pop monsters on the field. It's quite annoying to deal with. This set does have 2 ultra rares though. The Spectral Sword, which is one of the tuners, which can also act as a Vayu. Like if you remember Blackwing Vayu, he can get out a Blackwing monster.
You banish them from the graveyard.
Yeah, you banish them from the graveyard.
It's like a synchro in the graveyard kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's not exactly a synchro.
It's not.
So same with this one, is actually not exactly a synchro, but it does bring out the monster. So that's also very scary. But you can't do it on the turn that it's sent to the graveyard. That's unfortunate.
It's whatever.
Aside from that, the other archetype is, like every set that we've been getting now, we get one that's from like a branch off of a main character's card. So this time we get Buster Blader.
Yeah, we had like Red Eyes before, Blue Eyes, and BLS.
Blue Eyes didn't really get one. Blue Eyes was a structure.
Yeah, we got Maiden.
But actually, Blue Eyes is coming in the next set.
Yeah, Blue Eyes is.
And then we had BLS.
Yeah, BLS was poo.
Yeah, BLS is. You have to. There's a very, very fun build that someone showed me that revolves around synchroing a lot. But anyways, back to the Buster Blader. Buster Blader, I actually tried out the deck. It was very fun, but there's 2 variants to this deck. You either play it with the Magician engine or you play with the Brilliant Fusion engine. These are the fastest 2. One's more fusion-centric, one's more synchro-centric. So Buster Blader also getting a bunch of ultra rares, high rarity. Actually, one of the secrets in this set is a Buster Blader fusion.
Rip.
The effect is really nice. Well, it's a collector's item, right? If you want, if you collected the Red Eyes, you collected the Blue Eyes, you collected the BLS, you got this.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna pull this BLS secret thing.
It's not BLS. Buster Blader.
I'm probably gonna pull the Buster Blader secret at sneak peek. I'm gonna cry.
Well, that being said, the BLS, not BLS. Oh, now you got me saying it too. Buster Blader. Is revolving around him and his dragon companion. So there's the new Buster Blader. Unfortunately, in your hand, he's not considered as like pure Buster Blader. That's unfortunate, but he is a Buster Blader in the graveyard. So the Whelp companion, the companion with the Buster Blader of the Destruction Sword, the one that when you summon it, you get to search your deck for a Destruction Sword card. He can search out the new Buster Blader, and he's also a tuner, which is very important because you get a new Synchro monster, and you also get that fusion. Now, the Synchro monster, Buster Dragon, is a level 8 Synchro, generic, so if you can actually make it in other ways, please do it, because it's very hard to do with the Buster Blader stuff. Probably. It's a little more resource heavy, but if you can do it, it can revive, once per turn, during your turn, you can revive one of your Buster Bladers in the graveyard.
Free.
It's free, and then during your opponent's turn, you can equip it with one of the swords. Now, the swords act as pseudo floodgates. One of them shuts down the extra deck for your opponent. One of them shuts down the graveyard, so they can't activate effects in the graveyard. And one of them, face-up spells and traps cannot activate their effects ever.
So Monarchs, Necro Valley, and I don't know what the last one.
Yeah. And also the new Buster Blader can send the equip spell or the equipped monster to the graveyard and destroy every single monster of that type on the other side of the field. So it covers spellcasters, dragons, and machines. Kind of fun. But what's the most interesting combo with this deck is it's actually a Synchro 8 center deck. Mainly because the combo revolves around the Buster Dragon. You'll revive a Buster Dragon. You'll get a Buster Dragon out. You'll revive the Buster Blader. You'll summon out the tuner and make another Buster Dragon. Buster Dragon turns all your opponent's monsters into dragons, which is one of the reasons why this deck is so strong is because of the fusion spell. It's a quick play that basically confused with a dragon on your opponent's side of the field as well. So it makes it very hard to keep a monster on the field, and if you get the Buster Dragon with the Fusion BLS, your opponent is under a lockdown because all his monsters will be put into defense mode and cannot activate their effects. and he pierces. So, and you count as dragons, so he gains 1,000 attack for each one. So you'll be taking a lot of damage if you're trying to play through it.
Yeah, but that's if you get everything going.
It's not that difficult. It's very easy to set up turn 1 if you have Brilliant Fusion.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I'm not sold on it. But.
Yeah, but that's the deck basically. There's 2 ultra rares, Buster Dragon and the Nubia, the new Buster Blader.
Rip.
And then the secret rare is the, of course, the Fusion.
Bigger rip. I could have pulled Infinity or Sorcerer. I pulled Buster Blader.
But if you're a fan of the Buster Blader archetype, then you would not mind pulling these cards.
Even if I was a fan of Buster Blader, I'd still rather pull any other secret in the set. But
this is like you bashing on Arrow Mages.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
it's a very fun deck to play. Like
if Buster Blader becomes playable, I'll apologize to you just like I apologize to the Arrow Mage players.
Well done. So let's go into some of the notable mentions in this set. I know there's a couple other archetypes that also got support, and we're not really covering them because you guys probably did the research, and there's not too many cards to go into those archetypes.
There's support for other archetypes, right? But it's like 1 or 2 cards here or there. Nothing too game breaking. We covered the game breaking ones. So.
Yeah, basically. Now here's some of the other cards that you kind of probably should read through. It's definitely worth the read.
Impact on the meta.
I'm gonna start with the TCG promo card.
Sure.
Steel Cavalry Dino. It's, to me, the other, like the effect of the monster effect of it is actually not that great, but what makes it significant, it is it's a level 4 pendulum monster that's a dinosaur. And previously in Dimensions of Chaos, we got the Samurai Cavalry. And he's also it's like
Dino Rabbit.
You can easily kind of force your way into making Dino Rabbit with these cards, especially if you have Wavering Eyes available. Yeah. You can easily set up a board, and
Logia
Adolka is still very strong. Logia can negate the entire
Wavering Eyes,
and it stops the entire pendulum summon.
Yeah,
and stops anything basically. It's a Solemn Judgment.
Yeah, good shit.
It's very good.
Just remember that Ixie's materials don't go back to the extra deck.
Yeah,
right? You detach from Logia or Adolka, it goes to the graveyard.
But because it is a dinosaur, Fossil Dig does search out Rhoda. It gives you free Rhoda. So in other words, you can thin out your deck much quicker. You can like triple Upstart, triple this, triple that.
Yeah.
And then it could be a very small deck for a control-based deck, basically.
Yeah. And throw a couple notices in there.
Even Ariadne is very good because this is a control-based deck, and they are with the 2 dinosaurs.
Luster Pendulum to pop the dinosaurs. And
basically scale 5. They're scale 3 and scale 5.
Yeah. So lots of potential there.
Yeah, there's potential for seeing this card play, but the monster effect definitely sucks compared to Samurai.
Compared to Cavalry. Cavalry was great.
Samurai was.
I love Cavalry.
Samurai was much better.
All right. So next card we want to talk about, Twin Twister. I thought this card was going to be a secret. I'm really happy it's just a super.
Me too.
Still hollow.
I thought I compared this card with Galaxy Cyclone.
Right.
Because they kind of do the same thing.
Yeah,
they're staple level.
Pseudo MSTs.
Yeah, pseudo MSTs.
Right.
But no, this one's actually power creep MST.
Yeah. So this one, it's a quick play spell card still, but it has a cost, you discard a card, but you can pop 2 Speller Trap cards.
But it's up to 2.
Up to 2.
You don't have to pop 2.
You don't have to, but I mean,
some people don't, but some people just use that as an MST because they don't want to pop their own card.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that option too. This card,
it's versatile.
Definitely. Like, I think throw damage jugglers into the graveyard.
Yeah. I think looking at the format post BOSH, you're probably going to want to main two copies.
Yeah, main 2 copies for sure. Like Notice is going to be a thing in the back.
Yeah. Side the 3rd one, but definitely main 2. It's just the only thing it's bad against really is like Kozmo, but you can still hit Cosmojo. So
yeah, there's that. You don't want to hit. You don't want to hit the Cos.
You don't want to hit Cosmo. You don't want to hit Cosmotown.
But like hitting the Cosmojo is very good. Still against artifacts, you don't really want to play against this card because you don't want to pop any of their artifacts.
Yeah.
So there's that variant that you got to be careful of. Maybe you want to side it out.
But it's just a super rare, and remember, super rare comes in you get at least a super rare in every single pack.
So that's 24 super rares in a box.
No. There's...
Oh, no, sorry.
18.
18?
Right, 18 4 ultras, 2 secrets.
There we go. 24.
So, I mean, there are 12 or 14 supers in each set, so you're looking at like 1 per box, roughly.
Maybe.
Yeah, so, I mean, definitely a good card. I mean,
price-wise, probably coming out around 10, settling around 8 to 10.
Yeah.
It's just too good. It's
it's
stable.
A good card. It's a good card, and it's still a holo, and
it's something that you would not mind having too many of, because if you have like other decks, you might as well just put them in there.
It's hard to imagine a time where a card like that's gonna be bad.
I might see it be limited to 1 and then just keep the MSTs, because it's making control decks very difficult to play.
Yeah,
control decks hate this card for sure, because like,
and it's good. I mean,
set 3 back row, well, blow up 2 of them now. Just answer. I'd only need answer to 1.
Yeah, it's also a great counterplay to like Wavering Eyes or something, right?
Yeah, blow up 2 scales. It's really hard to get Wavering Eyes for 4 in the upcoming format, but this just makes it even harder.
Yeah. No, good card.
Another card we want to talk about, the next Mirror Force.
Varying Mirror Force.
I actually think this card is very good.
I'm not sold on it. It's like, I don't know. It's okay. So it's a Mirror Force, but instead of destroying them or banishing them or returning to hand, it flips all of them face down, and their battle positions can't be changed.
Well, I think this is actually pretty good, especially when they are going for a big push and they fail to clear that Mirror Force. Especially if Ignisters and stuff like that, they're stuck face down. Ignister doesn't even have any defense points.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't flip it face up, so what are you gonna do? Like, most of these pendulum-based decks don't run tribute summons. So in other words, they're actually dead there.
Yeah. I mean,
it's really good for controlling tempo.
Yeah, it's a good card. I'm just not sold on it.
Ghost Trick will love it.
Okay, if you're playing Ghost Trick, sure.
Or if you're run three of this.
Or if you're playing like Nobleman of Crossout, then it's a good card.
No, I don't even think Nobleman of Crossout even.
Exactly. Thank you. All right. So we agree. Burying Mirror Force poo.
No, it's not poo. It's still very good. It
decent card.
It's a decent card. It is an ultra rare, so
10 to 15.
On draw, probably 20 to 30 because of the hype. And
also, it's a Mirror Force.
It's a Mirror Force.
Okay, yeah, but realistically, 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it too much.
Likely, it's not secret like the other previous airs.
Well, Storming Mirror Force is dropping finally, but
it was still very good. And these cards actually may go up and down in price depending on the format.
Yeah, all the Mirror Forces are kind of going to fluctuate depending on like what the meta calls for.
So if you have them, you might as well hold on to them if you really want to, because if you don't want to let it go for like $15, then hold on to it.
Yeah,
it might go back up. And if there's an archetype that's dependent on face down or defense position monsters, you get the benefit of playing this card.
Yeah. All right, next card I want to talk about. This is a TCG exclusive secret rare that we didn't talk about. Ultimate Providence. This is a counter trap card, and when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, you can discard a spell, trap, or monster respectively from your hand to negate that card and destroy it.
Honestly, like, by itself doesn't sound very good. Sounds very situational. It's super situational too, in fact. But it combos out
with Ariadne.
Ariadne.
Yes.
Ariadne just makes this so free. It's the freest negation you can get. What kind of card can negate anything for free? I don't think it's very good.
No.
And it can be searched by Ariadne, of course. It's a counter trap. But speaking of which, Ariadne. Well, actually, let's get the price first. What do you think this is going to be? It's a secret rare.
20 to 25 on at sneak, and then like 10 to 15 on set drop. I mean, I don't think many people are going to be playing Ariadne, so I don't think very many people, as a result, are going to be playing Ultimate Providence.
That's because you haven't met people playing No Fun Zone version 3.0.
Only Tombox.
Oh, you'll see it
literally online. Only Tombox.
It's very.
He is literally the only person in the universe playing that deck.
No Fun Zone. Actually, someone else is playing it. I hated playing against it.
Okay, him and one other person are the only ones playing that deck. I hate playing
against No Fun Zone. So basically,
I wonder why.
So the next card is Ariadne. Ariadne is the Absolver. On the scale, it's a scale 3 that basically all your counter traps you don't have to pay life cost or discard cost.
Yeah.
That opens so many options to like some of the most impossible to use counter traps.
Makes a lot of counter traps really good, like Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell.
Don't have to ditch a spell. And also there's the other one, Spell Vanishing. Have to discard 2 spells to send every other card into the graveyard and hand. Well, guess what? It's free.
I guess, but I mean,
I prefer Spell Vanishing, not Spell. Curse Seal.
Yeah, because it locks it out for the rest of the time.
So it makes dead draws. But like Chaos Trap Hole don't have to pay life, so you have extra trap holes. And it banishes too, so it's also very good.
Lots of potentially good things with Ariadne,
but this, don't run this. We don't recommend running this in a Peppy deck because it clutters. Technically, it is more monsters into the deck, and it clutters a lot.
Yeah, it clogs.
And you don't want to like clutter and not get your combo pieces. So
Right.
you would still run the Solemn Notices, but you would not like basically put Ariadne in there.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
It's just so if you actually put it in, it feels like a win more situation. Like, oh, I got the Wavering, has to pop everything and set the combo. Like, put up the Rafflesia, Saber Dragon Infinity, double notice. Yeah, that sounds really good on paper. Yeah, and you would probably win that game.
It is good, but it's the times where you don't draw it and you draw an Ariadne without a way of popping it, or you draw like the notice early game and then you draw the Ariadne later. Yeah, that you're gonna feel really bad, right? Like,
good. And you really want it on the scale, but for control decks, this card is amazing.
Like that Dino Rabbit thing we were talking about earlier. Yeah,
there's a good potential there. Also, No Fun Zone. I actually have to throw this in because my newest No Fun Zone runs 3 copies of this. Even though I still mainboard Anti-Spell Fragments. You can just put them on the scale and then set the anti-spell and then set all your counter traps, and then you flip it, and then now your opponent has to deal with you being you having that one skill that makes all your counter traps free, and they have to deal with like a fossil dino with a moon.
He's the reason I don't enjoy playing at locals anymore.
That deck is very fun.
I also have never played with.
I only use that to revenge kill people on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. Like, I've been trying to deck test.
Okay, if someone's being a jerk, then
I'm like, you're not gonna be. I'm not gonna let you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically, that's a bit of a dick.
That's
deck.
fair enough.
So we also have the cover card to talk about, Enlightenment Paladin.
Yeah,
it is a support towards the Magician archetype. So this guy's a synchro and has 2 very signature effects. Of course, if you synchro him out with a Magician Pendulum monster, you will be able to get Demox spell retrieval effect right off the bat. That's really good. And the other effect is Flame Wingman. Whenever it kills a monster by battle, boom, they burn for the original attack. 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Aside from that, it's a solid card. Not something that every deck would probably want to put into. There's a lot of better options. I would probably prefer to use the Scarlet Dragon Archery.
Scarlet Dragon, yeah, that's a good card too.
That one's probably.
But I mean, it's there as a utility option if you don't need your extra deck, really, right?
Or if you're running magicians,
Sure.
you have to synchro, of course. That'd be like, of course, the new magicians. One of them is a tuner. That's why you have access to these cards. Now, this cover card. If you like the cover card, unfortunately, there's no ghost LTs anymore to follow these cards or make them secret. Luckily, it's only an ultra rare. It's about. If you really like the card, it could be about $20 on the drop, but then eventually it'll probably set around 10.
I'd say anywhere between $8 and $12.
Yeah, it's still a really nice card.
Yeah. The art's pretty nice.
So there's another card that I didn't know if I was going to go into, which was Illuminate. It's a worm type level 3 tuner monster. It has one of the most annoying walling effects, in my opinion. Best in terms of lowering attack and I think lowering attack. Your monster loses attack based on its rank or level times 300. So, like, say Ignister Prominence, one of the most popular cards, goes down to about 450 attack points, which makes it really hard. So, say you hit into a Yang Zing monster, they bring that guy out.
Yeah.
And it's also a tuner, so in other words, it could effectively...
It gives them something to play around with.
Yeah, so it could block your entire battle phase, and then they can actually synchro into stuff.
Yeah.
Which I personally don't want to
It's also really cute, because it kind of looks like Eevee, but with a giant horn, so...
Yeah, it's very blue. I thought it was a rabbit. I thought it was a beast.
Anyways, next card. Fiendish Rhino Warrior, OCG import. A lot of people were really hyping this card up, and I know in the OCG this card's still really popular because of Burning Abyss. They have Beatrice and Triple Graph and all of that stuff.
Triple Tour Guide.
Yeah, Triple Tour Guide, Triple Skill Drain, like all that nutty stuff. But yeah, Fiendish Rhino Warrior, while it's on the field, Fiend-type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle except for Fiendish Rhino Warrior.
And card effect.
And card effect, okay. And when it's sent to the graveyard, you get to dump another Fiend from your deck to the graveyard. It's only a common, or
it's a common.
It's a common, so obviously not a very high priority card to pick up. Should be pretty.
Nonetheless, has good value in terms of play.
Yeah, good card value. You can give it a try and be it. I mean, we only have 1 graph and 2 seer.
But it is very good because you can tour guide it out, and then if you mill and you don't hit the mills you need, this card will fix your mill.
Yeah, so definitely a good card. And don't forget the best deck of any format, really, Dark Worlds. You can use Fiendish Rhino Warrior to dump Grapha, which is really, really free.
Actually, yeah, it gives you additional Foolish Burials, and it works very well with Fiend Grieving.
Yeah, so, I mean, Dark World, there's still probably gonna be a tier 0 deck this far.
No, ignore that part. We're gonna move on from this card now because you ruined the segment. Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon. Now, I didn't actually think I would be talking about this guy, but every single like set we've been getting a different Odd Eyes card.
Yeah.
So now this one we get the ritual monster, Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon. Now it comes paired with Odd Eyes Advent, which can ritual summon any dragon type. So you can actually bring back your Necrusk Decisive Armor if you really want to. Anyways,
or Cataster.
Yeah, that's funny. There's actually quite a few things. You can look down the list on Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia.
Please don't do it.
But this card, one of the most amazing things about Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon is, of course, it can't be Solemn Noticed or Solemn Strike. The reason why this card is good behind that is if you summon this card out, all the spells and traps your opponent controls goes back to their hand, and they cannot respond to it. And that's gonna kill them.
That's scary.
In other words, if they have a big fat pendulum, like a couple other Odd Eyes Pendulum dragons in their scale, well, hello, you're gonna die now. And Odd Eyes Advent can use the Odd Eyes monsters in your extra deck as the ritual monster cost. That to me is amazing. In other words, you can actually get killed pretty quickly if you don't get ready for this card.
No, yeah.
I think this is definitely a card that you should try in your Odd Eyes decks.
In pure Odd Eyes, yeah. Definitely a good card. Facilitates OTKs, pretty solid.
Yeah, it has a decent attack itself. The final card that I kind of want to put a little attention to is a Master Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. Yeah. So it's a vanilla Draco Slayer, not a Draco Overlord, not like Vector.
Yeah, not Vector.
But this card definitely has some potential. I would not recommend running more than one, even if you're gonna run it, because it doesn't exactly do too much. It's not a tuner, so that's one thing, but it does carry the Draco Slayer name.
Yeah.
So when you do special summon out from Ignister, you can summon this guy out, and then he's not restricted by...
Yeah, he doesn't have the Luster Pendulum
restriction.
So
you can actually just overlay with it to do anything you want with it. So pretty much just rank 4, or you can use that to turn it into a Dinoster because it carries the name. So that's the only potential. But one of the other good thing about it is 1950, so it can run over a lot of problem cards. Like Thunder King. I don't know if people still run Thunder King, but yeah, I can kill a Thunder King.
But no, versatile card, definitely something to look to in like different pendulum decks in the future. Anything that's playing Lusters and Draco Slayers and stuff. So.
Yeah, you can definitely consider teching one in.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's just vanilla. It's 0, so I guess if you still run Mass Chameleon at this point,
you're probably not running Mass Chameleon.
Probably not. But if you are running Mass Chameleon, yeah, I guess you can send him to the graveyard. Of course, Dinoster can revive stuff from the graveyard, so your Mass Chameleon is kind of obsolete right now.
A little bit, but it's whatever.
So right now we're just gonna list off a bunch of other archetypes that we probably didn't mention, but they probably won't break your wallet. So we have Black Wings, Pendulum Magicians, and Odd Eyes. We have Magispectors. Magispectors get their little fancy little toad. He's really cute. Supercell and Sonic, so it's the double attack thing, but has the damage you do. Goyos get a bunch of Goyos. Melodious gets Melodious. I think 2 more. Despots also gain a major boost with 2 more cards. I believe there's also Cyber Dragon.
Yeah, we get the imported Rampage Dragon.
Yeah, Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. Careful with that card because it can OTK you.
Yeah.
It's very scary. Super Heavy Samurais get a bunch of stuff as well. We get some weird Twilight Ninjas now.
Yeah, those are...
Hopefully they're not very shiny. But Red Eyes also get Red Eyes.
I just got it.
You just got it? And we also got Red Eyes Tracer Dragon. I don't know how viable that card is because I've actually never played with it.
I've never tried Red Eyes.
And I think that's all the archetypes. That's a lot of archetypes.
That's a lot of stuff.
I'm actually kind of surprised of how compact this set is, considering that they're like throwing 1 or 2 cards in about all the ones that they want to support.
But I mean, a lot of people have been hyping this set up. If you guys are looking at the pre-orders online, like
you can't find cases. You can't find cases.
No, it's
anywhere.
impossible.
Cases are sold out everywhere. I'm struggling to find boxes as well. It was like something that should have we should have done a video earlier on. Like, you probably should pick these up because you can't buy cases anymore.
But sets of BOSH or boxes of BOSH, if you can find them cheap, definitely grab them. I think this is a really good money set. Tons of really good playable stuff in this set that you guys are going to want to get your hands on. if you're looking to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, or even like work on some casual fun decks, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of staples, like staple level cards. This is like what some people would call breakers of Yu-Gi-Oh, because it's breaking the meta. It's also breaking the casual game too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these cards you have access to.
Yeah.
And in other words, it's not just a competitive level card.
Right.
It's also available to the masses of everybody.
Yep. No, it's a good set. I think it's a step for Yu-Gi-Oh in the right direction.
Yeah, but I really didn't like how Konami went back to, I think Konami went low on cash again, so they decided to rarity bump everything. Yeah. They do that every now and then.
But I mean, we have some nice things.
Okay, Twin Twisters was Twin Twisters was like a blessing to us.
The Performapal stuff.
The pals were nice. But the pals were only nice to one group. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the BOSH or Breakers of Shadows set analysis from us. I know it's been a long journey watching this video. It's at least like 40-50 minutes.
It's a long video.
I'm sorry. Hopefully I don't die editing this.
But there's a lot of stuff we want to talk about. Yeah, because it's a really good set.
It's definitely a game changer. Please pay attention to whatever you want to pay attention to in this set, because there's a lot, there's just too much to cover.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover in here.
But just a quick announcement. I started live streaming. I don't know why I started. It's just for fun, but you guys seem to like it. I did tournaments on stream. Maybe I'll host another one sometime in the future. Who else is other people might start streaming as well? Maybe Nishi, maybe Care, who's working audio. Working on building a lot of assets and stuff. Aside from that, maybe even Oscar.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully they all get their stuff set up. But aside from that, you can check out my stream and the latest tournament, which was post-BOSH, which was people get to test stuff out. It was a DN tournament at MST.TV _Tombox. That's at, of course, the Twitch TV. And aside from that, hopefully we can bring you guys new content. I actually have a couple new things in mind for 2016 that will be pretty fun to do.
Well, it's our second year, and we kind of have an idea of what's going on. So now that we have a ton of subscribers, we want to bring you guys as much quality content as we can, and
more subscribers. And 10K subs, we have
a special giveaway planned.
Yeah, the special giveaway.
More work. Yeah. Well, Thomas is doing more work.
Yeah, well, I'm working full time again,
so am I.
Yeah, we're all actually just working really hard to bring you these videos. Of course, enough for self-plugging ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time, if you actually like our video, please give us a thumbs up.
And if you guys want to see more stuff like this, please make sure you guys hit the subscribe button.
And maybe tell your friends to subscribe too. And as always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV. But if it's common blind MST,